Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to keep adding to this isometric room we've been building over the series of videos. Today I'm going to add a bookcase to this room, and I think I'm going to put it right around here. And we're going to try to model this out of a single cube, kind of like we did the desk. I like the challenge of modeling something out of a single cube. So we'll go into modeling mode here, and we're going to add a cube, of course. G to grab Z axis, G to grab X. We're kind of just put this in place and start to work out some dimensions. G to grab Y. So something, it's going to sit right about here. And I hit N on my keyboard to bring out the item menu. So item, and we're going to add some dimensions. So I think on the X axis, so that's the width of this thing, I'll leave it at 24. I'm going to make it 48 inches tall. And just for housekeeping, seam properties, I am in imperial unit of measure, and length I'm using inches. So G to grab Z, we'll just break this up. And for the depth, I think I'm going to make it about 12 inches. So that looks good. G to grab Y. So I think that'll work. I always like to look at proportions before investing a bunch of time into modeling something, just to make sure dimensionally it's going to work. And I think that's a pretty good size for a bookcase. So I'm going to do Control A. I'm going to apply all transformations, which includes applying the scale, which is the most important piece. And on my keyboard to hide that menu. And then / my keyboard to hide everything but the object I'm working on, which is the bookcase. So I'm going to tab into face mode. And I got to move me up here. So I to inset, and then move your mouse sort of forward. And this menu pops up, and you can give the inset thickness some dimensions. I'm going to use 0.75 of an inch, 0.75 of an inch. So that looks good. Now I'm going to do a Command R. So my mouse hovering here in the middle, Command R. Roll my mouse wheel forward once, twice. I'm going to say 3 times. This is the number of shelves that Bookcase is going to have. So click once to accept the number of loop cups. Now you have the option to move them around. I don't want to move them. They're all evenly spaced within the area, that face I've selected. So I'm going to click to accept that. Now with all these edge loops, see the edge loop goes all the way around. I don't really want that. Don't need it, don't want it. So with all of them selected, I'm holding my shift key and I'm going to select this one, and this one. In essence, I'm deselecting them. And then right click on any of the selected ones and dissolve edges. And you can see they're all gone. I'm just left with the edges that I want. So I'll select and hold down shift, select each one of these while holding down shift. I'm going to do a Command B to bevel, and then move your mouse. And if you get a bunch of bevel cuts, roll your mouse wheel toward you. I don't want any, so I want this look. So I rolled my mouse wheel toward me to get rid of them. So click to accept that. And over here, oh, don't want me. We can, boy, that's, right here, you may have this here. It could be set to width type. It kind of defaults, the first one's offset. You don't want offset. You want it on width. And here you can apply the width in the dimensions that you're working with. So if you do Command B, chances are it's going to be on offset, will be the default option here. You don't want that. You know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to undo this. I got to move me more out of the way. So now Command B. So we'll select these again, holding down shift. Command B, move your mouse. And right here, on this menu, it's probably going to default to offset. You want width. So the second option. And we're going to use 0.75, which is the same dimension we used for the thickness of the inset. So now, in theory, these bevels should be the same thickness of this perimeter inset. And I believe they look to be the same dimension. So I'll click away to accept that. Now I'm going to go into face mode. I'm going to select this face, this face, this face, and this face, and this face. I'm going to E to extrude along the y-axis. And you remember when we made this shelf 12 inches deep? So I'm going to extrude this. Again, a menu will pop up. I want to extrude this 11 inches deep. So almost the whole thickness. So you have to put a minus here because we're kind of going the opposite direction. So I'm going to do minus 11 and then click here to accept that. So this is now looking like a shelf. We're not done yet though. We're going to make it more of a fancier shelf. So staying in face mode, I'm going to click on this bottom face, E to extrude along the Z-axis down. And again, the menu pops up. Use this menu if you're modeling something of a single cube. This menu is golden. So I want to make this 4 inches. This is going to kind of be the base of the shelf. So staying in face mode, I'm going to select this face, and this face. And I'm going to hold down Option key, hit E to extrude. This menu pops up. I want to extrude along normals. And then move your mouse forward. And again, this menu will pop up. And I want to make that base about 1 inch thick. 1. So we're kind of modeling this somewhat precisely. So now this is looking good. I just want to do something to the top. It kind of looks plain. So I'm going to click on the top, E to extrude, Z-axis, move your mouse up. This one I'm going to do 0.5, like that. And then I'm going to zoom in here. I'm going to select this face, and this face, and hold down the Option key, E to extrude faces along normal, move your mouse. And I think we'll do this 0.75. And that looks good. Now, I have a bunch of, well, actually, no, we're going to keep going here. So staying in face mode, we're going to select this face, and this face. And we're going to E to extrude along the Z-axis. And I think we'll do like a 0.5. That looks good. I like that. So now I want to get rid of some of these edges. So I'm going to go into edge mode, because too many of these edges that you don't want or need will affect things like bevels and whatnot. So I'm holding down my Shift key. I'm selecting all those edges. Right click, dissolve edges. And I go along the top here. I think I want to get rid of these two. And dissolve edges. That looks good. So now I want to bevel some edges here. So we'll select this one, and this one. And we'll select this, and this. And I can zoom in a bit so I can see what I'm doing. Command B to bevel. And I'm going to roll my mouse wheel forward. I want more edge loops. Something like that. Now you can see my profile on the top. It's going the wrong direction. So once I got the number of edges I want, I hit P on my keyboard. P is for profile. And then you move your mouse toward you, and it kind of, I don't know if you can see that at the top. You can change the profile of the bevel. So I want it to be rounded, concave, not convex. So click to accept that. Now, this is looking good. Now, I think I'm going to do the convex at the bottom here. So I'll select this one, and this one. And I'll just show you how that works, maybe even more of a close-up. So we'll zoom in. So we can do a Command B, and it's remembering the number of edge loops from the previous bevel. So something like that. And now don't click or do anything. Just hit P on your keyboard and then move your mouse sort of right or left. I'm moving mine to the right. You can see I'm getting a different shape. And I like that. So I'm going to left click to accept it. And you can kind of see it's an interesting sort of uh, effect on the top there. And so go into object mode. So that looks really good. That's kind of what I was going for in a bookcase. Tall, narrow, fancy top, fancy bottom. So I like this. So I'll bring back the rest of my scene and I'll position this a little more precisely. So G to grab Z, G to grab Y. And I think that looks good. So that is a bookcase. We'll go into render mode. So there's a bookcase in our isometric room out of a single cube. I love doing that. It's a challenge because you have to work with. I think you have to be more creative. You have to maybe learn more about Blender and how it works, which is kind of the idea. So if you like what you're watching, give it a like. Think of subscribing. It really helps my channel, helps me get noticed. Anyway, we're going to keep building this isometric room, learning new things in Blender. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next video.